So the red button. Next, I would request Mr. Debashish Sen to felicitate the guests on the stage. We'll start with Honorable Minister in charge, Mr. Firhad Hakim. So I request you to kindly hand over the token of appreciation to Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh, CMD Bandhan Bank. Next, I would request you to kindly hand over the small token of appreciation to Mr. Nicolo. Last but not the least, Mr. Ranjan Mishra. Sir, if you can kindly hand over the small token of appreciation. Thank you, sir. Now it's time for the inaugural address from Mr. Debashish Sen, Chairman NKD, and first we'll have a small audiovisual presentation on the Fintech Hub. If the team can play it on the big screen, please. The idea was to set up the first financial hub in Eastern India. The idea was to set up the first financial hub in Eastern India. McKinsey Global Institute is saying, it's a published report, you can check it up on the website, and it is saying that in 2 decades' time, Calcutta will become one of the 3 important financial centers of India.
This is Kolkata, the epicenter of Bengal's flourishing technology and advancement. Not just technology, but the core of the financial ecosystem. And that has led to the growth of Eastern India's first financial nucleus, Fintech Hub.
Today, if a new financial center has to happen, it has to happen from Kolkata. Nothing happens out of there. There has to be planning, there has to be foresight, and there has to be an ecosystem. So what is happening is that a huge area in the central business district in the new town, which is one of the 100 smart cities of India, which is a certified green city, which is a happy city and a solar city. This is now planned to have one of the very thriving financial sectors of the country.
Eminent names in the financial industry have already set up base here at Newtown's Fintech Hub.
I feel proud to talk about the financial hub in Calcutta. 26 floor building and 7.5 lakh square feet, and nearly 5,000 people can be occupied for the office job. And this is the main headquarters of the bank, an innovative building. I hope that it will be like another milestone for Calcutta to see this building.
I believe locating the Fintech Hub in Kolkata will be highly beneficial for Fintech companies. Firstly, it's very close to the airport, and then because of its proximity to the proposed Silicon Valley Tech Hub, which is coming up. Apart from that, there is a rich pool of talent which is available from the educational institutes that can be utilized. There is one more point. Location in Kolkata will be very convenient for training officials from both northeast states and Bangladesh.
Situated close to the airport, prestigious educational institutes, the IT hub of Bengal, and in the middle of the green and smart city of Newtown, Fintech Hub is rightly said to be at the heart of opportunity. Built on nearly 70 acres of land, Fintech Hub is on the verge of creating enormous business opportunities from the rich talent pool in Bengal.
So as far as this facilities are concerned, yes, it's a nice project developed by West Bengal state government. As far as the opportunities are concerned, yes, we are foreseeing the excellent opportunities from Fintech Hub.
We are creating a vertical city, a very, very tall building. This vertical city or a very tall iconic tower will have space reserved for the fintech community.
Fintech Hub has already allotted 48 acres of land to more than 28 financial and legal services. Esteemed institutes like the State Bank of India, National Insurance Corporation, Bandhan Bank, HDFC Bank, Bank of Baroda and many more are already setting up their grand structures here.
You all should come, see and participate in the Fintech Hub. So experience Bengal, come and take the advantage of the situation and be part of the Fintech Hub.
This is the land of those who think ahead. Come, visit us. Be a part of the growth setter in the finance industry. Be a part of Fintech Hub. Fintech Hub now allows you to book your plots online. Log on to bengalfintechhub.in now.
Now it's time for Mr. Devashish Jain, Chairman NKDA and MD WB HITCO, to present us the online process in detail.
Good evening, everybody. On the dais, Honorable Minister Firhad Hakim and Chairman HITCO, Honorable Sri Chandrasekhar Ghosh, Founder, CEO and MD of Bandhan Bank, His Excellency Mr. Nick Lowe, Deputy High Commissioner of UK in Kolkata, and Mr. Ranjan Mishra, Chief General Manager, State Bank of India, and all the dignitaries who are sitting here. I'll take you through a short presentation and what today is going to happen. A bit, not very long, I assure you. Next. It is said that if you could make the center of gravity of the financial world, if there were such a thing, then it would be seen that the center of gravity has been moving from Asia, from AD 0, that is between the Christian era, BC and AD, to the US, Europe, and it's again being pulled towards Asia, being pulled by India, China, and Far East Asia. There are many financial centers in the world. It is said that the top 4 are as follows: New York, London, Singapore, and Tokyo, and in that order. So we can see that of the first 4, 2 are in the eastern region of the globe, to the east of Kolkata, to the east of India, and it is sometimes conjectured that Mumbai has become such an important commercial hub because of the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal opened and the Western world first landed at Mumbai, and that is why it is now the commercial capital of India. No doubt, along with Mumbai and its neighborhood, Bangalore and its neighborhood, NCR, Delhi and its neighborhood, among the top 10 cities is Kolkata. But what is important to look is that the entire eastern region, northeastern India, Bangladesh, Bhutan, and entire South Asia and Southeast Asia. My friend from Taiwan and Taitra is already there. So, at my special invitation, he has been here. What's happening? Go early. Yes.
And so what we are trying to say is that there is a huge void. There is a huge void in Eastern India, being the natural neighbor of Southeast Asia and Far East Asia, where we can have a very strong financial cluster of financial institutions. Cluster is a key word. Banks over the years have loved working in groups. Next. On the left we see the fearless girl, like me, many of you have been to Wall Street in New York, and this is where the fearless girl's image is there. It is a kind of symbolism of the power of the bull that has been thwarted by little girl. And what I'm trying to say is that the entire Wall Street is in a very small portion of New York. And in our finance center in Newtown, we have built a replica. We also have a little girl. We are just trying to prove that bringing all these banks together is a hugely strategic choice being exercised by the government of West Bengal. Banks, financial institutions, like the bookshops in College Street, like to work together. They like to discuss together. They like to think together. And therefore, we are stressing on one single area of about 70 acres for various banking institutions to come together. So, the Wall Street, the City of London, Dubai International Finance Center, Bandra Kurla in India, Gill City in Gujarat, and Newtown Fintech Center, we are all talking in the same breath. Next. And a very important point of the Newtown Fintech Hub, many of us would know, but just putting it in context. To the right, for example, the circle denotes very close by walking distance from the Fintech Hub is the Bengal Silicon Valley Hub, where more than 50 ITs companies have already taken plot, more are coming, thousands of investments are coming in. So for the Fintech Hub, talented IT people is just a stone's throw away. To the left, we find that IIT Kharagpur and Amity University, Presidency University, and a lot of young talent, young and vibrant youth, and educational hub is there, which will feed on to the Fintech hub's requirement. There is also another thing that I must point out, that this Fintech hub, the government of West Bengal has also allowed legal firms to come in, because legal is also getting intrinsically linked with financial matters. And it is therefore that very close by, there is the commercial court that is already operating in the finance center, where we just saw the little girl. There is the NGT, the only bench of National Green Tribunal is at the finance center, very close to the Fintech hub. And also, there is a huge area allocated very close to the Fintech hub for the High Court. The boundary wall is already come up, and when the whole thing becomes vibrant, the place will be full of lawyers, technical people, young educated talent, and of course the banks and the banking industry. And close by, we have the Eco Park, the coffee house, the famous coffee house, which is very close to the Fintech hub, and also the business club, that is the only one that has been built after the British left India in Calcutta, promoted by the government. Next. We lay a very great stress on work-life balance. Only work does not make Jack happy. And therefore, on my left, just before the corona and the pandemic start, one of the days I found that IT techie people from TCS merrily singing song in the Eco Park. And of course, we have the golf course always, a 9-hole golf course, to make your work and life balance easy. Yes. This is an area of the colored thing. The 12 plots are now put up for auction, put up for allotment in an online manner, and you would see that there is a lot of variation in size. So from 15 cutters or 0.25 acres up to 3 acres, whatever is the chosen amount, that can be seen. In the middle green portion, you can find a 4-acre white space. It is the space where we are planning for a vertical city. Next. This is the artist's impression. It is nearing its completion stage. It is in the design phase still, and it is so designed that in the middle portion there will be subsidized space for fintech startups. On the top penthouses there will be residential, and on the ground there will be commercial places. But the point to note is that the building rules have been changed to accommodate the requirement of the financial sector who had already come in, who wanted to say that if we have our office here, where will our staff and officers stay? So the government of West Bengal changed the building rules. It is in the CBD, because Central Business District. Think of Dalhousie Square in Kolkata, where no residential is normally allowed. But 49% residential or other uses are permitted in the fintech hub, and that is considered a great incentive for many. Next. There are other attractions. The only thing that I can add beyond what I have already said is that this is the only city perhaps in India where it has a captive telecom company. You don't see any overhanging wires. The entire new town has underground of ducts where optical fiber cables and other things are put in, including the cable TV's wires, and it is strictly, there is a great escape from sky pollution and a lot of other factors. And there are many other ways in which we are saying that the fintech hub is a great place to be in. Next. And because of these factors, we would like to say that all these 28 financial institutions have come in, and they are in various stages of development. And of course, because of the corona and the pandemic, of late the growth rate of development has slightly slowed down, but definitely it's all going to come up again after the corona disappears. Next. The Honorable Minister will soon press the switch for online application. Today is Friday. Last Friday, at the cabinet meeting headed by Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, a decision was taken to allow allotment of plots at Fintech Hub through an online process. Exactly 1 week later, and I congratulate my IT team for that. Entire thing is in place, and I also thank the Weber who have come up brilliantly, working 24 hours around the clock and making this happen, so that Honorable Minister today can say to the world that the decision of the cabinet is now ready for all to use across the globe. The process flow is given. I won't go into that, but suffice to say that it's just sitting at home. You can now apply for a plot if you think this makes sense. Next. The expression of interest, and you can also see today is 10th, only yesterday it has been formally launched. Just go to the West Bengal Tenders website or the IDCO website, and you can see all the details that is there. Next. This just says whatever is there in the EOI that is already in the public domain. Everybody can apply. All these different categories can apply, whether you're an insurance company, whether you're a regulatory body, whether you're a payment bank, etc. And the one point that I will point attention to is that mutual funds, again in the last Friday's cabinet meeting, mutual funds have been also allowed to participate and pray for allotment of land in Fintech Hub. This was a very important addition. And not only that, while in the other cases, any institution wanting to apply has to have a turnover of 500 crores per year.
for the case of mutual fund, recognizing that it is not of large size, this condition has been waived off. So whenever next time you meet your mutual fund agent, tell him to take a plot of land in Fintech Hub. It won't stay forever. Next. The timelines are already given on the right-hand side top. 9th September, that is yesterday, it was published. And from yesterday itself, should you want it, of course it is being launched today. Technically from today, you can get into the website and register your name. The process starts, you can see what is there. However, because of statutory reasons, because of rules in the land allotment policy, the first application can start only 30 days. An interval statutory gap of 30 days have to be given. So while the website is on, the online process is on, you can register yourself, the name of the company, the directors, address, and so on and so forth. The actual application for the plot can start from only 10th of October. This is a point I thought I should mention. Next. We have also invited certain consultants. This is also to tell you very briefly that we are also seeking persons to help us bridge the gap between an intending applicant and us. And if somebody should be interested, they can apply, and we would love to talk to them. Next. A few last slides on the new town. It's a green city. It's a platinum-rated green city. We got it in July 2018 in the midst of Corona, and it is valid for 5 years. This is the highest sustainability certificate any city can get in India. Next. We have a great deal of emphasis on green mobility, cycle tracks, electric vehicles. Incidentally, we are going to have an electric vehicle carnival on the last weekend of this month from 24th to 26th of September. Next. We are putting a great deal of emphasis on cycling, and Newtown is considered one of the top 11 cities in India in terms of cycling is considered. Somebody was telling today that with the green cycle tracks all around, it looks almost like Amsterdam. Next. We are putting a great deal of emphasis on solar panels, and our Bagjola, lots of solar panels. Wherever we are finding a space, we are in for green energy. Next. And this is also perhaps unique. The waste is not only being segregated, it is the wet waste, that is the kitchen waste, is brought together, put into these green wagon-like things, and the gas generated is used to generate electricity, and all the street lights near it is lit by this gas that is obtained from your kitchen waste. Next. And various types of green, solar, and smart cities that we have put all around the place. Next. And our almost last is that we are very proud of a small store that we call a zero waste shop, where we recycle products including clothes and dresses and sell it, not donate it, at princely sums of 20 rupees and 25 rupees for a pair of jeans or a pair of shirts, and it is proving to be very, very popular. Next. We are using, in these days of Duare Sarkar and dengue awareness, in Newtown, often our buildings are very tall, and our traditional method of announcing that to take precautions on a three-wheeler is not reaching the 28th floor, and we have therefore put a speaker and an amplifier on a drone and making these announcements. At least people have loved the innovativeness. Next. We were talking of Fintech Hub, we are talking of work from home, but Indian homes are not made for working from home. The son, the daughter, the mother, the father, everybody is doing something, and the salesman comes in. No place for doing your very serious project work. So here we have, which the Honorable Minister had inaugurated last month, 20 rupees an hour, and you get an air-conditioned piece, free Wi-Fi, and you can buy a cup of coffee too.
proving to be very, very popular. Next. This is the last slide. We have come 9 years. We can see Honorable Minister on the dais. We can also see Honorable Chief Minister releasing a brochure. We will also request the Minister to release a brochure today. We have traveled from 2012 to 2021. 28 institutions have taken part. We are angling for 12 more. And we hope after that, this will really be a vibrant financial center of India and Southeast Asia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for putting the FinTech Hub and Newtown in such a wonderful perspective. Near FinTech Hub, we have a big center of SBI, and we also have the CGM of SBI Kolkata with us here on stage. Next, I would request Mr. Mishra to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. Honorable Minister, Government of West Bengal, Shri Firhad Hakim Sahab, Mr. Devasis Sen, MD, HIDCO and NKDA, Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh, and other dignitaries on the dais, and ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely privileged to be a part of today's function because we in SBI, we have participated in this FinTech Hub project very enthusiastically. We already have come up with our state-of-the-art State Bank Institute of Leadership, which is located here, which is conducting leadership programs, not only for the employees and officials, senior functionaries of State Bank of India, it is also conducting programs for bankers from Bangladesh, Bhutan, Nepal, and other neighboring countries. The programs have been extremely popular, and these facilities here are so good that one cannot expect for better. As Mr. Sen was narrating, the entire ecosystem is present here. The talent pool is available, all facilities are there, wide roads, closest are near the airport. Traveling time is curtailed to a great extent, all facilities. And we also have another plot of land where State Bank of India is going to construct 2 18-story towers. Our DMD was present here in the city, I think 3-4 days back. We took him there and presented the plan. The plan has been submitted now, and once the approval comes, the construction will start. The entire processing of State Bank of India will be concentrated in the FinTech Hub, where we will start the back office processing activities from here. And this is because of the talent pool available and because of the space available, because of the facilities here. And no wonder, no doubt in anybody's mind that Calcutta offers the best facilities today in Eastern India. And we want, State Bank of India wants to capitalize on these facilities available. So thank you, sir. Thank you for making us a part of this entire project. I would recommend that those who are interested can always come and join hands and make this project of the Government of West Bengal a success. And this will be, I think, a pride of the country also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. When the largest PSU bank, CGM, says that FinTech Hub, they are having great plans in FinTech Hub, of course, it makes a great story. And he also said that there are a lot of international expansion and trainings which they're planning to do from here in FinTech Hub. And when we talk of international collaborations, we have His Excellency Mr. Nick Lowe here, who has been a great friend of UK and India, bridging the gaps between the cities of Kolkata and London. Sir, may I request you to share your thoughts here on the stage with everyone here attending today.
I hope very much you'll forgive me if I take the liberty of removing my mask for the sake of audibility. Namaskar, Assalamu alaikum, a very good afternoon to all of you. Honourable Minister Fahad Hakim, Honourable Minister of Transport and Housing and Chairman of HIDCO, our very good friend, Mr. Bashish Sen, with whom I've had the pleasure of working closely these past several months, distinguished colleagues from State Bank of India and from Bandhan Bank, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and guests. Over the next few minutes, I'll be giving you some statistics. One that I'm not very proud of is that apparently since lockdown began in March last year, 70% of us whose lives have gone online have suffered deteriorating eyesight, and I can no longer read my remarks without putting on my glasses, so I hope you'll forgive me for that. The Bashish, this is the right event in the right place at the right time, and I'm really delighted to be part of this. For the last almost 2 years, I've been in India for almost 2 years now, there's been a word association. Look, in a British context, if I say Wembley, people will say football. If I say Twickenham, people will say rugby. If I say Lords, people will say cricket. Sadly, if I say India and fintech, people are going to say Bangalore. And we've got to change that. We've got to change that. Bangalore, we're coming for you. We want much, much more fintech in Kolkata. You've made a brilliant start. That has been a great presentation. My one regret is that, as I stand before you here this afternoon, is that we're not online and I haven't got colleagues from the City of London and our financial service industry listening in. So that goes to the top of my to-do list. We will arrange that, an online interaction with the UK fintech and financial services industry. Because much as I'm open to being convinced, and I am convinced, that Calcutta is a natural home for fintech, I am not an investor. So we need to put you in touch with the people who are. A week ago yesterday, the 2nd of September, my Chancellor of the Exchequer, that's what we call the Minister of Finance in the United Kingdom, and Mrs. Sitharaman, held the 11th United Kingdom-India Economic and Financial Dialogue. It went very well indeed, and I think is symptomatic of the unprecedented quality and quantity of work that we are doing bilaterally and that we're doing as part of the wider global system. The biggest example of that, as you'll know, is on the pandemic. It's on COVID-19. It's been the development between Serum Institute of India and AstraZeneca of the vaccine that we generally refer to as the AstraZeneca vaccine, and here in India you refer to as Covishield. Some figures I've seen from Public Health England today show the value of that work. Since we started vaccinating towards the end of last year, we estimate that vaccine has saved 112,000 lives in the UK alone, and countless more in India and around the world. A powerful statement of the United Kingdom and India working together as a force for global good. And there's much, much more to come. Medicine, biotech, an obvious example of that. We face the silent, but increasingly menacing threat of antimicrobial resistance. And I think that's going to be one of the focuses of the work we're going to do in that sector over the coming years. And this is work that's already got a footprint in Calcutta with the collaboration between the Tata Medical Centre and the University of Manchester, which are doing marvellous things in oncology, the study and treatment of cancer. This is a moment of global leadership for both of our countries. For the United Kingdom, as chair of the Group of Seven, and you'll be aware that the Honourable Prime Minister was invited by my Prime Minister to participate in the G7 summit in June of this year, and as the United Kingdom prepares to take on the chairmanship, the presidency of COP, the Conference of Parties, the United Nations climate change body. For India, it is chairmanship of the BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and India's forthcoming presidency of the Group of 20. And we're both members of the United Nations Security Council. And I congratulate India on what was a stunningly successful presidency of the UN Security Council last month. That gives us immense opportunity. The great global issues of our time are there, and they're demanding to be addressed. Returning the world to sustained and sustainable economic recovery. Solutions on digital taxation, global health governance, and of course, financial sector issues. Now, I'm a British diplomat, and I can't possibly not mention climate change, because less than 2 months from now, the United Kingdom, with our partners from Italy, will be hosting COP26, the Climate Change Summit in Glasgow in Scotland. Many of you will have seen the headlines of the IPCC report, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, within the last 2 weeks. For the last year, I've been telling my listeners that this is the last chance saloon. This is where we save the world from irreparable damage. Unfortunately, the IPCC report clearly showed that we, the global community, have already done irreparable damage to our planet. But it needn't get worse. And to prevent it getting worse, we need an ambitious agreement in Glasgow in November. And we'll work very, very closely indeed with India. We are working very closely indeed with India to ensure that we get that. None of these great global issues can be solved by central governments alone. And this is where the government of West Bengal, Kolkata Municipal Corporation, Kolkata Newtown, as you've seen, have such a vital and important role to play. I was delighted to be able to facilitate a dialogue recently between Calcutta Newtown and our friends in Milton Keynes in the United Kingdom, a city which, like Newtown, is a planned city and which aspires to the very highest levels of livability, sustainability, and it is committed to electric transport. And we were delighted to do that, and we hope to see that flourish. Honourable Minister, you very kindly gave your consent to a forthcoming climate action memorandum of understanding between Kolkata and its historic British partner city of Dundee, cities that have had relationships for 150 years, and we hope to be able to agree that before too long. Let me turn my attention then briefly to the economic and financial dialogue that Ministers Sunak and Sitharaman co-hosted last week. I wouldn't normally do this, but I am going to read a little bit from the communique that was published by the two ministers, because I think it's really illustrative of the strength of this relationship. It is the longest single paragraph. It's on fintech, so I think it's appropriate in this situation. It is the longest single paragraph in the community. In the communique. Bear with me, it's in accessible English, not particularly difficult. The ministers agreed that the fintech sectors in both the United Kingdom and India have grown consistently, and both sides have taken forward several initiatives to further strengthen our existing partnership to support financial innovation. India is on the way to becoming Asia's top financial technology hub, with 87% fintech adoption rate as against a global average of just 64%, and it continues to be ranked as a top fintech investment destination. The United Kingdom is well established as a world-leading destination for fintech, with our fintech sector representing 10% of the global market share, and it's worth £11 billion a year to the United Kingdom economy. Both countries note that large United Kingdom fintech companies such as Revolut and Tide have recently announced ambitious investment plans for the Indian market, which will also lead to the creation of job opportunities. We've also agreed to build on the successful international launch of RuPay cards and explore options for enhancing cross-border payments between the United Kingdom and India. We welcome the focus of the G20, the Group of 20, on enhancing cross-border payments, including through the Financial Stability Board and Roadmap. The Reserve Bank of India and the Bank of England are members of various working groups constituted by FSB and Committee on Payments and Market Infrastructures to deliver actions identified in the roadmap and are playing a significant role in its implementation. The United Kingdom welcomes the Reserve Bank of India and IFSCA's admission into the FCA-led Global Financial Innovation Network as a member, and also planned applications for another couple of global bodies. Both countries welcome progress on technical assistance on financial services agreed by our Prime Ministers earlier in the year. That's what our ministers have agreed, and I think creates a very, very helpful background for what we've been talking about today. We are working with the grain of what our companies want and what our governors want. The UK's proposition for fintech is unique. Debashi, shortly before we began, I sent you a fact sheet. It's a little infographic. If one of your team could possibly circulate it to our guests here, I think they'd find it very interesting. It's full of stats. I think it's very much value added. But in brief, you look at fintech in the UK, what do you get? You get world-class talents. You get UK-wide expertise. It's actually not just about London. We've got fintech centres in Cardiff, in Leeds, in Manchester, in Newcastle upon Tyne, in Edinburgh, and in Belfast. Belfast, Northern Ireland. Not many people know this. It is the leading global investment destination for US companies looking to develop cyber security products. It's a really deep and wide market. We've got a forward-thinking approach on regulation, access to capital, and proximity to an innovative financial services sector. Our financial and business services sector in London is 90,000 companies. 90,000 companies. And we have 2,100 fintech companies. So, gentlemen, even if quite a few of them are already in Bangalore, or they're going to go to Gift City in Gujarat, there are still hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that we would like to see coming to Calcutta. And we must make sure we bring as many of them across as we can. And it's full spectrum. It's peer-to-peer lending, it's challenge banks, it's cyber, and it's all these buzzwords: insure tech, reg tech, that's regulation technology, artificial intelligence, pay tech, tech for good, and our old friend blockchain. I fear I will outstay my welcome if I go into any more detail, but I started off by saying this is a right event at the right place at the right time. I hope I've left you with the sense that you've invited the right international partner to be with you here today. Thank you so much for the invitation, hugely appreciated, and we look forward to a rich, a deep, and an immensely productive partnership together over the years and months to come. Thank you all very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for such a data-driven and a wonderful speech on the collaboration aspect as well. Next, in Fintech Hub, already there are 28 plots which have been applied and construction has started. And out of the allottees, Bandhan Bank has taken more than one plot. And today we are very fortunate to have with us Mr. Chandrasekhar Ghosh, a pioneer in the banking industry and the pride of Bengal with us. I would request Mr. Ghosh to deliver his special address.
Namaskar and good evening. Honorable Minister in charge, Housing and Transport Department, Government of West Bengal, Janab Firad Hakim, and also the Chairman HITCO, Managing Director of HITCO, Sri Devashish Censored, and Excellency Link Rowe, which is the Deputy High Commissioner, British government, and the banking colleague, Mr. R. Mishra, who is the CGM of State Bank of India, all the dignitaries in this evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's our pleasure that I am standing in front of you because our bank is a Bandhan Bank, which is born in Calcutta and now spread across the country in 34 states and Union Territory. We are newly constructing our headquarters in the financial hub, which is now talk about the tech hub, 26 floors. And also we have been set up another plot taken for currency chest, and our back office will be 15-story building. That is also 150,000 square feet. And another initiative we have been taken with the HITCO and BCCI and Bandhan Bank incubator. So we are selecting the new IT professional who are interested to start the enterprise, which is called the entrepreneurs. We have given the space, given the mentoring support, and out of this, within 1 year, the two are the very best entrepreneurs have been developed in here. One is a beekeeping, and another one is in IT, that is in health instrument development on that. So we feel proud about it to working in here. Coming to this point of that, the fintech, is it that the banking service and the technology, we cannot be like to disaggregate. It is a together now working on that. I given that my couple of experience on that. 4 years before, I visited my Bardhaman branch, which is very prominent place of the Bardhaman city. And after come out from my branch visit, I entered to the petrol pump to take a fuel for my car. And after complete the fuel, when I given my card, and they are surprised. Say that card, you are given for pay. Yes, well, no facilities. And I was surprised. Bardhaman city, petrol pump are not accepting my card. And I go back by walk to my branch and withdraw the cash and give in to that. But today, after the 4 years, if you go to the Shantiniketan, first, you can go to any petrol pump to fill up the fuel. Everyone, they are accepting this card. Second, when you going to the big toll plaza, if you can go to the Dakshineshwar, there's a 3 toll plaza. You can see that the fasting. You have not this queue, you have not in a traffic, you are running, and your time have been also saved much more because of this travel. Third, you are going to any of the restaurant, and the bypass restaurant, you can go to name is Navanno, many name, Hindustan, you can enter, and you can be like to take your breakfast and pay by your card or by your mobile or by your QR code, or you can pay the UPI, the Google, you can pay on that. And when you go to this Shantiniketan, you can buy from a small shop, which is called the terracotta. Different things you can be handicrafts, you can buy this type of transaction. All these transactions you have been done from Calcutta to Shantiniketan, return back to the home with with that is called that there is a very good sweet shop on the road of that Panagar. No, you also get that sweets with this type of all transaction and without any single money in your pocket. Only you have need to mobile and you can give the authentic permission, they can transact. And this is called the Fintech, which we are using every day, every time now on that. In India, there is a 60 crores smartphone, 50% smartphone used for financial services. So how it has come from last year to this year, 116% of the transaction increase in this type of fintech. So that is a part of the life now. We cannot say that without the fintech, we can be life can be run on that. This is a one side. If I go to the another side, whatever the truck or lorry, it has been started from Calcutta to going to Delhi. They are taken the goods, all are on mobile app. They are booked, owner and driver, all are safe. All are taken everything by the mobile and paying by mobile. And is it to say that is in logistic business or financial business? Is it not in a one kind of financial fintech? Yes, this is also fintech. If you see that another way, the Uber, I was in Singapore. The Uber, I have been traveling, and they are asking, are you like to take a lunch? Yes. So when? And they say that they Uber booked the lunch to the hotel, and that hotel boy is standing in front of another half an hour later on the junction, and I taken this food and paid to the Uber. Is it not the fintech? So fintech is now part of the life. Without fintech, it cannot be possible to live around on that. So day by day, we are using more on that. So we have need this fintech hub, whatever our state government decided, and all financial service entity are in here now. This is not only financial hub, this is actually the fintech hub. It's a very appropriately decided the name of our state on that. Coming to this, the banking industry. Yes, what's happening on that? You like to, if we see that go to the traditional banking, first we have been started, go to the bank branch to open the account, sign many papers. This is one. Go to the branch to go to the queue to print it the passbook. That is also. And also in the queue of the ATM. Now, we have that the bank is online, you can open the account. You have not need to go to the bank branch. You can open account from your living room. You can transact 24/7 in any way, anywhere in the world. It said all things happened. Even KYC is a big issue for the banking industry. Now open on that, the video KYC. It does not need to go to your house and then KYC like to fade. So it is also fintech. So all things happening now gradually coming such a way, it's a need on that to practice in this type of fintech services. So that in the appropriate investment has taken by the banking industry, and also the government is supporting us to do it. Recently, if you know that we are earlier used IMPS, RTGS, NEFT, now it's a 24/7. Earlier it was a holiday, it was not happened. Night is not happened. But now, if we see that you have that EMI in the date of Saturday, and in that time you are given the one day before, because Saturday is a holiday, you cannot pay, so one day you are given earlier, or Sunday, 2 days earlier, you pay the interest more. Now you are paying that Sunday, You have not need to pay the 2 days interest more. So that the fintech has given the opportunities to customer and also to the banker. So we see that maybe it is a loss. No, it is not the loss. It is also gain. I hope that these are the many things has come now banking industry. If you see that another part of the banking industry, 80% of the people now have the bank account. If you see that a couple of years before, it was only 35% people had the bank account. 80% people bank account. If you see that now, Lokhi Bhandar have been initiated by our government. DBT have been given by the account. So lots of people are now interested to open the account. Earlier, these people are requested to come to open the account. They are not coming. Now they are coming. And their children are lots of time they are using their mobile, their internet, everything they are doing on that, so that those are aged mother size on type of that, they have not need to use on that. Their children good enough to teach them. So for that reason, there is another thing is coming. Aadhaar also help on that to open account more and good transaction on that. Now the banking services, paperless, presenceless, cashless, only need on that consent from you, authentic by you. Until you are not give the consent, until you are not authorized, transaction will not happen. Only this, all other things have been stopped on that. If I say that the artificial intelligence, now staff is not needed to teach you. You can automatically get the answer, all the question answer from this artificial intelligence. This is coming. So this type of infrastructure is need in a good fintech hub or Silicon Valley type, where the investor will be like to invest in this, the IT sector, which can be help to the banking industry in the future. So huge demand. My final point on that, the huge database in our system using by the Amazon, Flipkart, Google, all are fintech base of the organization. They are full, every time they are using the data analysis and understand about that what types of people is need what types of services, and accordingly they are providing. That is we call the big data analysis. That is a big demand is coming banking industry, big data analysis, very technically on that. If I say that it is the new, and of course every bank is coming forward to do it on that. So that is a need, this type of facilities, where is a fintech hub or Silicon Valley hub, where the investor will be like to invest, and many of the IT firm and banking industry will be set up there, everything in here. So that is a future opportunities in our country. If I say that this is a very big opportunities for develop the infrastructure. My final point on that, if I say that there is in Silicon Valley in USA, and Silicon Valley USA, they are interdependence on Stanford University. And university is successfully researched and studied and implemented in a Silicon Valley. The Bandhan is decided to open a university in this hub. Finally, this is a new town. I requested to our minister and the MD if it can be linked with our Silicon Valley of Newtown and Bengal, then we can be study in that university, tested in this Silicon Valley, and a very good way financial industry can be get the opportunities on that. Thank you, sir, to giving these opportunities to say about it.
Thank you, sir. You continue to inspire all of us here in Bengal. And certainly you have thrown a great deal of light how Fintech Hub and Bengal Silicon Valley can be an integral part of the growth of Bengal. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for unveiling of a new brochure on Fintech Hub. May I request the volunteers to bring the brochure, and I would request Honorable Minister in charge to kindly unveil this new brochure. Sir, I would request you now to inaugurate the website. So we'll have a remote control and it will be electronically inaugurated. Sir, you need to point the thing. The audience has been keenly waiting for your keynote address, so I'll not let you sit. If you can kindly come up here and deliver your keynote address, sir.
My friends on the dais, Mr. Devashish Sen, my colleague, he was Additional Chief Secretary of Government of West Bengal and now MD HITCO. Mr. Misra from State Bank, Mr. Ghosh from Bandhan Bank, Mr. Nick Law from UK, and the dignitaries and ladies and gentlemen of the dais. It is actually our dream that myself and Devashish Sen Saab were together to see the dream. We went at 2012 in London and visited their financial hub at that time. And there we thought that if we could do something like this. Then we went together to Bandra Khurla, and there also we visited in laboratory to that financial hub. And thereafter we dreamed about a fintech hub here in Calcutta. That time we were all both together in creating the new town with many facilities. At that time it was like only the road was there and full of bushes are there full of new town. And there we thought about all these things. Now a reality is there and our dream is coming true. We only want to assure you that this is our third term in government, and the government is very sincere about bringing back the glory of Bengal, that is business, here in India. We are really sincere to have trade and industry here in Bengal. And for that, we are ready to have anything what you suggest so that the business comes here, the industries comes here. And this FinTech hub, I will not go in details, you have heard enough about from them, but it will be a starting point here, because as we are creating Silicon Valley here, Fintech hub here, and we have ready-made manpower here in Bengal. So, investing here in Bengal, it will be advantage for the investors. And I would request one thing. Many of the young fellows were sitting here, but they went away. But I want to request them that start off, create some start-off here, start off from here. Because everything that starts in Bangalore, it starts from Hyderabad. Why not from Bengal? Why not the young generation will come forward? Why not the Bengalis, the young generation from Bengal will look after only for a job? Please give me a job, Bandhan. But why not become more and more Chandrasekhar Ghosh here in Bengal? So, it will be our next dream that the companies will create their self in Bengal and will be pride of India as like Bandhan Bank. Thank you. We are all eagerly waiting for your response, and we all welcome you with our open heart. And just say, I am there in HIDCO office also. Every Friday, I meet everyone who comes there. Any problem, just inform me that we are facing this problem in any sector, anything. And we are there to solve that problem. But there should be investment in Bengal now. We have wasted two and a half years with this COVID and all these things. But we mean business. Bengal means business now, and we have to do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful keynote address. Well, the event does not end here. The networking session continues outside as a part of the high tea. And by thanking everyone who attended this event, and especially the guests on the dais, you have taken your time out from your busy schedule and has spent the last 1.5 hours with us. Thank you so much, sir. Me, Shuvayu, signing off right now. We'll continue with the networking session with the high tea. Thank you.